Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, we're diving straight into a hidden trend today that's quietly creating massive financial opportunities: executive LinkedIn ghostwriting. Look, if you've got the chops to extract sharp ideas from incredibly busy leaders and turn them into clear, consistent posts, you can build a highly systematized, really profitable solo business. We're talking about completely ditching that exhausting freelance hustle and building a structured service that can scale up to $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue, or MRR. Today, we're breaking down the exact playbook to actually make that happen. Here is our roadmap for the Explainer. We're going to hit the 10K ghostwriting opportunity, brand identity, the 8-step launch plan, pricing and packaging, your tech workflows, and we'll wrap with discovery calls and onboarding. All right, part 1, the $10,000 ghost rating opportunity. So you might be wondering, why are incredibly successful executives suddenly practically begging for writing help? Well, it all comes down to visibility, credibility, and most importantly, a massive lack of time. Just look at LinkedIn's own data. 4 out of 5 members drive business decisions. It's literally the absolute highest signal B2B platform on the internet right now. Buyers are researching vendors and leaders way before they ever book a meeting. Executives know that being consistent here drives their pipeline and recruits the absolute best talent, but they just do not have the time to sit down and write short-form copy every single day. And, well, that's exactly where you come in. Now, to really capitalize on this, we have to make a crucial distinction. You are not pitching yourself as a social media manager. A social media manager is handling the scheduling, the community ops, formatting, all that stuff. A true executive ghostwriter, on the other hand, is conducting interviews, perfecting voice matching, architecting thought leadership strategies, and drafting the actual narratives. This is a high-ticket role. Because you're driving tangible business outcomes, like inbound interest and partnerships. Top-tier executive ghostwriters are commanding attorney-level consulting fees. We're talking monthly retainers ranging anywhere from $1,000 to over $5,000 per client. Moving right along to Section 2, brand identity and authority. Let's look at how this plays into your own business. Before you can confidently sell these premium services to executives, you have to look like an authority yourself, right? You can't sell authority if you don't project it. It's perfectly captured in this quote from our sources. People don't connect with brands, they connect with people. Busy executives don't want to hire a faceless generic commodity. They want to know the unique perspective, the actual heartbeat behind your work. You've got to figure out what makes you unforgettable. So to make sure you don't just blend in, you need to build what's called a brand identity map. This sits on 3 core pillars. First is your voice. What's the whole vibe of your brand? Are you bold, serious, maybe a bit playful? Second is your visuals. You want to lock down 2 to 4 core colors, a specific font style, and a signature logo. And finally, your commandments. These are your guiding principles, your absolute non-negotiables. If you're disciplined about rolling out this visual and tonal brand consistently, your audience will recognize your stuff instantly, and that builds the trust you need to command those premium rates. Okay, Section 3. The 8-step launch plan. Now that your brand foundation is set, let's look at the exact chronological roadmap for building this thing. No guesswork here. Step 1, choose your niche and explicitly define your offer. How many posts a week? What's the revision policy? Step 2, build your own presence on LinkedIn. Get 10 to 20 really strong posts up that show off your frameworks and your voice. Step 3, create 3 portfolio samples geared perfectly toward your target industry. It's totally fine to make up hypothetical executives for these, just clearly label them as samples. And step 4, set your pricing, your packages, and lock in very clear scopes of work. Getting into the operational side now. Step 5, prep your onboarding assets. This means having your intake questionnaires and voice of executive templates ready to go. Step 6, line up your tech stack for drafting, approvals, and scheduling. Step 7, get moving on outreach using thoughtful DMs and leaning on your existing network. And finally, Step 8, and honestly, this is absolute genius, close a paid test month. Offering a 2 to 4 week test, usually at about a third of your full package price, heavily de-risks it for the client. Plus, it gives you a clean out if you realize you don't actually like working with them. And speaking of outreach, keep in mind that not all lead channels are created equal. As you can see, your warm network is going to give you the highest conversion rates for the lowest effort. Seriously, before you go spending hours grinding out high-volume cold outreach or huge content marketing campaigns, just start by sending personalized messages to your existing contacts. Volume and consistency are going to win the day here. As our sources emphasize, the absolute fastest path to your very first client is talking to people first and building massive assets second. Which brings us to Section 4, pricing and packaging tiers. Let's be real. Pricing is usually the most anxiety-inducing part of launching a freelance business. If you charge too little, you attract nightmare clients. If you overthink the perfect rate, you'll literally never launch. To skip that headache, just use a structured package grid. Your tiers, like starter, growth, and executive, need to clearly define the post count, sure, but also your revision limits and communication boundaries. You're looking at entry tiers starting around $800, and those scale all the way up to executive packages pulling in $3,500 or even $6,000 a month. The big takeaway? Anchor your retainer price on the business outcomes you deliver and the smoothness of your process. Absolutely never on word count. Short-form content is all about clarity, not volume. You do not want to compete on price. Section 5, Workflows, Tools, and Tech. Look, you can't realistically scale to a 10K MRR if you're working 80 hours a week and forgetting to email clients back. It's just a recipe for burnout. Your success relies entirely on your systems. You need a rock-solid, repeatable weekly workflow. By batching your tasks, you fiercely protect your focus time. Monday is strictly for mining topics and outlining. Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when you draft everything and send it out for review. Thursday is purely for applying those revisions and getting things scheduled. And Friday, you review the analytics and prep your briefs for the following week. This rhythm is exactly how you can easily manage 3 to 5 high-ticket clients side by side without losing your mind. And hey, you don't have to do it all by hand. Properly integrating AI is a huge advantage here. You can leverage tools like Perplexity to blitz through topical research, and then use Claude for some really deep summarization. Basically, you're setting up AI research agents. These are repeatable tasks with strict rules to act as an always-on intake valve. It's an insider secret that completely eliminates the research bottleneck. Imagine waking up to fresh, totally organized material, just waiting for you to inject your executive's unique voice into it. It's a game changer. To support all that, you need a lean, mean solo tech stack. Notion is basically your operating system. It's going to track your clients, content pillars, and approvals all in one seamless dashboard. You'll want Shield to get those gorgeous creator-grade LinkedIn analytics so you can actually prove your ROI to the client. And you definitely need a secure e-sign tool like SignOut to handle NDAs and contracts fast. Keeping your tech lean but highly professional guarantees you'll never look disorganized to a CEO. All right, final section, number 6, discovery calls and onboarding. Getting an executive's attention is one thing, but safely landing the client and setting boundaries is a whole different ballgame. When you finally get that busy founder on a discovery call, you've got to project pure authority. Keep the call tight. We're talking 20 to 30 minutes max. Figure out their specific goals. Do they want sales pipeline or are they trying to poach top engineers? A brilliant pro tip from our sources. Ask them to list 3 recent ideal meetings they've had that they want more of. Once you know that, hit them with clear positioning. Say something like, I help founders publish 12 authority posts a month to drive warm meetings. Boom. And the second they say yes to the paid test month, deploy this onboarding checklist immediately. Seriously, this is your armor against scope creep and endless revision loops. You need an intake questionnaire to nail down their ideal customer profile and goals. You want 10 sample hooks approved right out of the gate. You absolutely need a statement of work that explicitly caps your revisions. And do not forget to grab a baseline snapshot of their analytics on day 1. Otherwise, how are you going to prove your impact a month later? But out of everything, the most crucial onboarding asset is the Voice of Executive, or VOE document. This is literally the secret sauce. It documents the phrases they use naturally and the corporate jargon they despise. It sets the tone. Are they super direct or more diplomatic? Most importantly, it lists their non-negotiables, the banned topics and compliance rules they absolutely cannot cross. You'll also use this to build a story library of their big career moments. Having this document ensures that even when you use AI to help research, your final draft always sounds exactly like the client. So we've laid it all out. We covered the opportunity, the brand map, the 8-step launch plan, your pricing tiers, the tech stack, and the exact discovery and onboarding frameworks. The path is crystal clear right in front of you. And honestly, the demand from executives has never been higher than it is right now. So I want to leave you with one final question to chew on. Will you stay trapped in the exhausting freelance hustle, taking random orders and undercharging for your time? Or will you build the systems to scale a $10,000 a month solo business today? You've got the playbook. Now it's time to actually execute. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.